Hello folks and welcome back to Relaxing Woodshop. My name is David.
My name's Christopher. No need to adjust the TV sets. I accidentally shaved a hole into my beard and now I no longer have a beard.
You actually shaved your whole beard off. I actually think that's why he didn't go on last week's show, because it was different. It was a baby face, it definitely was. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for last week. By far, again, you've broke our records in terms of around 270 views within a working week. So by far our best one. Maybe because Christopher wasn't. No, better
quality.
Better. So this week, guys, as said, we are going to get up in and we're going to insulate and then clad the roof. We're going to try and do this in one video, but I honestly don't think it's going to happen because there's a lot to do here. Because what we'll have to do, hopefully you'll be able to see this, large big rolls of insulation. We'll have to cut them down to individual size. Unlike the olden days where everything was perfectly gapped in between, we're probably going to have to measure each and every one to cut it down. But we're going to show you a wee trick that I was told a couple of weeks back up at the building site. So it was, yeah. So anything else you want to mention, Peter? No?
Big thank you again. Remember the likes and subscribes. Keep the community growing.
Yes, absolutely. You're very casual.
Oh yeah, I forgot my video as well.
Yeah. Guys, let's get into it. Okay guys, I'm hoping it's not moving too much. We had a wee bit of a rock going on there because we are absolutely extended as far as we can on our tripod. So, this is a logistical nightmare in terms of filming and that. Christopher, what are you trying to do? Oh, so I'm top of a ladder and you're standing in your own teeth. Very funny. Very funny. So, guys, the Hobbit is up in the roof space. And what we're going to do is first measure our first wee bit here to then see how we're going to cut. Remember, you don't want to be dragging these big massive rolls up because you'll wreck yourself. So the plan is to do your measurements and then cut them on the floor there and then bring them up. Safety, guys. I know I can't stress it enough. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're all have to do our own thing. But on this occasion here, this stuff is not good for your lungs, okay? And it is not good for your eyes, and it is not good for your hands, unless you're using natural wool, which is a lot more expensive. So, goggles, masks, and gloves, please, because you'll just end up scratching the life out of yourself for the next 3 days. So, for measurements, we'll get up in, get our first measurement. Always measure a couple of, maybe not a centimetre more than what you need. And the reason being is when you push it into the roof, can you see me? Into the roof, that means that it's going to hold itself in from grabbing to each side there. So our measurement for this is 40, so I'm going to do 41 on a cut, which means when we push it up in, that'll then compress together and hopefully hold it in place so you're not having to keep going back and lift them up. If that becomes a problem, I'll give you another wee solution that doesn't cost a lot of money. Okay guys, so the wee trick that I was taught up at the building suppliers where I got this, nice and simple. So if that's 41, you get your tape measure, run yourself to the 41, use the insulation of the other rolls to keep it down, bring it over to that 41 mark, get the saw, do a wee light mark on the plastic just so it marks in, you know where you're at, and then from there we'll get the saw and we'll run it through. Now, we're going to change camera angles to show me doing this because I'm going, as I said, to get all masked up. So we'll see you in 10 seconds. So now that that's cut, we've brought it up. So it was 40, so we did a 41 cut. Now I've decided to cut it just before we brought it down there, and it was 143, so we did a 144 cut just to make it easier to manage in. So don't forget, got mask on, and then push it up in. I've decided just from the angle of the roof, what we're going to do is we're going to tack a couple of wee nails in just to give it that wee bit more of a support in between. Now excuse the noise outside, but we've got a storm going on at the moment and it's rattling everything, so out of all the days we could have picked been up into the rafters, it had to be this. So what we'll do, we'll get a few of these nails in, run all the way along, just at the very edge. Just enough to hang out, and then that'll give enough of a biting point for the insulation not to then come out and cover your face. So just hammer away. Okay guys, so as you can see, that is our first one up in. I did have to use 2 bigger nails on each side here just to keep it up, because obviously we'll have to insulate the whole thing before we start cladding. Some people will start cladding, work their way up, stuff the thing in, work its way up. So I'm going to have to go down the way with the cladding, so it will make it much harder for pushing this up and in, so it is. So onwards and upwards. Okay folks, so now that all the insulation on this side is up, as you can probably see we're up in, it's fully covered for one side of the other. I'm going to be totally honest with you, that was a nightmare.
It was awful.
That stuff is just so itchy, so annoying. I know people have said to me you should put foam sheets up. A couple of problems with the foam sheets is they're easier to have a lot more gaps in them, whereas this stuff can be pushed in and cover all the wee nooks and crannies, so that's why I'm just sticking with it. But with one side done, now we're on to the cladding. So what we're going to do is, our claddings are 5 meters long. We're going to try and see if, without cutting them, and actually we're going to bring them up through. Hopefully there's a bit of give in the bend, and we'll get them along, do the very top, and work our way down from there. What do you think?
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Let's go for it. Well, folks, unfortunately, that is all we have time for this week. The reason that we are stopping slightly early is...
It's absolutely horrendous. It's not a two-person job.
It is not a two-person job.
Help.
We really do. The sheets are 5 meters long. So when you put up the first one, it is not a problem. You stick it up in and you tack it down, job done. Once we got the sheet 2, you have to put the tongue and groove in. As the plastic moves up and down like that, the wee waves stop you from forcing it up in. So I go down that end, Chris goes down that end, the bit in the middle falls out. You go to the bit in the middle, Chris goes to that end falls out. You get the idea. So what we're going to do is, we're going to finish the video on, we've insulated it, and we've 1/4 cladded 1/2 of the roof. An eighth of the roof. Yeah. And what we'll do is, on our following video, we'll get a nice time lapse of an assistant giving us a hand. The problem with assistant, it has to be someone in our bubble because we're still classified as in lockdown. And the grannies aren't going to go up there, are they? We'll ask the granny, see if we can get a wee 80-year-old up the ladder who's got her injections. That would be a better idea, wouldn't it? Right, no, we're joking. So guys, look, be safe, take care, and on this occasion, we're a bit beat.
But we'll always come back.
Take care.